Bell who gets the catch. He's got patrol.
With the section seeded and the regular season in the Minnesota State High School boys hockey year quickly concluding, one would think that this game today has not much meaning. However, as the snowflakes fly in the town of Stillwater, Minnesota, the pucks will be flying as well, as two teams with state tournament title hopes take to the ice tonight, as the St. Thomas Academy Cadets take on your Mahtomedi Zephyrs here on Suburban Community Channel's SCC TV 19. With former St. Cloud icebreaker Allison Vogt, I am Alex Westad. And Allison, we look at this game here in a unique position. Both teams know where they will be starting their section tournament runs. Both teams know where they'll be seeding, who they have to face off against later coming up here. But yet one more game in the regular season. What's the mindset of these players coming into this one today?
I think coming in today, it's the mindset of this is going to kind of be like your tune-up game, a game that you can use to kind of perfect and correct some of those mistakes that you might be making in your other regular season games. So, this is something that you can kind of watch out, kind of come in, watch out for your mistakes that you're making, and then hopefully correct those things before your first section game.
As the St. Thomas Academy Cadets take to the ice here, just ready to get things underway. Both of these teams built in a very similar mold. We say that a lot, but especially so today. The Zephyrs score about 4 goals a game if you round up, and the Cadets score about 5, but they also don't give up many goals. Something to watch as the course of the game progresses, and for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, having a goaltender like Ben Dardis in net is certainly going to keep the Cadet attack at bay.
Yeah, Dardis has had a really great season. I mean, he's got 2.16 goals against average and a save percentage of .933. I think that's something that's going to maybe give St. Thomas a little bit of fits. I would say that the Zephyrs a little bit better defensively than St. Thomas, but St. Thomas a little bit better offensively.
There is the sophomore for the, actually I'm giving him a year off, a junior, Ben Dardis, again, as Allison mentioned, .861 on the year, 216 goals against average, a save percentage of .933. Dardis now has 3 of the 4 best individual seasons in Mahtomedi Zephyrs history. The only season better in save percentage-wise, Bailey Huber in 2017-18. On the other side of the ice, for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets, it will be senior number 1, Karsten Lardy, getting the start. And for Lardy on the season for St. Thomas Academy, a goals against average of .275 and a save percentage of .893. Record on the year for Karsten, 10-4-3 for the Cadets playing out of Section 3 AA. For the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, 5-0 winners over St. Paul Johnson and the Governors their last time out. 3 wins in a row for Mahtomedi, 4 of their last 5 as the Zephyrs look to defend their first state championship in history coming up at the XL Energy Center at the end of February and the beginning of March. Our player to watch tonight, April. March is course of habit. Our player to watch tonight for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs is number 10, Adam Johnson. 11 goals on the season combined with 16 assists for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. All-time leader in Mahtomedi Zephyrs history is Brent Borgen. And Adam Johnson is 27th all-time. He's also 16th all-time in assists with 54, behind Ryan Gunderson with 106 from 2000 to 2004. Our player to watch for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets is number 15, Jackson Hollab. 17 games played this year, 14 goals, 22 assists, 36. Committed to become a Michigan Wolverine next year. And all-time, he is 12th in goals behind A.J. Reed with 81 from 07 to 11. And he is 13th all-time in points with 99 behind Christian Isaacson with 178 from 2006 to 2010. The man, the myth, the mustache, Jeff Poschel. If you joined us for our season opener against the Hill Murray Pioneers, you know that Jeff Poschel is in his 24th season as head coach of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, former goaltender himself with the Hill Murray Pioneers. All-time in his career, Jeff Poschel, one of the winningest coaches in Mahtomedi Zephyrs history, as he came into the season with 396 all-time wins. Add on the 10 that he has this year, he is now at 406. On the other side of the ice, a second-year head coach for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets is Trent Einer, graduate of Rosemont High School in 1988, Miami University of Ohio in 94, where he was 12, 40, and 52 in 4 seasons on goals, assists, and points. He was the captain of the Red Hawks in 93 to 94 and played parts of 3 seasons in the ECHL for the Huntington Blizzard and Raleigh Ice Caps, amassing 77 points in the ECHL, and 5 seasons in the WPHL for the El Paso Buzzards, and was the head coach of the Lakeville North boys hockey team from 2011 to 2019. As always, before the puck is dropped at center ice, we pause for a moment for the playing of our national anthem, Cadets and Zephyrs, just around the corner. This is your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr boys hockey. With the national anthem complete, we are all set and ready for hockey. Hello and a very pleasant Monday afternoon to the 53 of you currently watching on youtube.com/Suburban Community Channels. Also, hello to each of you watching on Facebook. If you have comments, suggestions, or feedback, you can certainly throw those into the chat, especially, again, for mispronunciations of names. We do want to honor that since normally we'd get to talk to the coaches. However, in this COVID-19 year, we do not get the chance to do so. Once more, before we get started, your starting goaltenders for tonight's contest. For the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, it'll be the junior Ben Dardis, 8-6-1 on the year, goals against average of .216, and a save percentage of .933. Dardis with 3 shutouts on the season for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. On the other side, for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets, it is number 1 Karsten Lardy, a record of 10-4-3, goals against average of .275 and .893. Allison, important for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs to start this first period defending well, because it's the best period for St. Thomas Academy, plus 27 in the opening frame this year.
Yeah, Mahtomedi is going to have to come out knowing that St. Thomas Academy is going to have a really strong push. They have a really great first period team there, but I think Mahtomedi is up to the task. They have some really good defensive play.
A rush of color on the ice tonight as the Cadets wearing their road navy royal blue and the Zephyrs wearing their road yellow. The opening faceoff is dropped underway and Hallam wins it back for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. Austin Williams here to the near side, looking for Tommy Statine, trying to carry the puck back up the ice, goes back to Williams to defensively to reset. On the backhand, was looking for Hallam into the zone, but instead intercepted by Deverell on this top line here for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets as they look for win number 11 on the season. When the section play begins later this week, they'll be the number 1 seed in a very difficult Section 3 AA. And the Cadets looking to return to the state tournament once again, as they have made the section final each year of the 2010s decade, looking to start the 2011 or the 2020 decade on the same stretch after making the jump to Class A in 2013-14. 4 straight section championships for the Cadets. Dilmany into the attacking zone, lost an edge there on the way into the zone was Max Nagel. Nagel, one of the leading goal scorers here for the Cadets. He ties Jackson Hallam with 14 goals on the season for St. Thomas Academy. Nagel off the far side circle, working his way back in, down and low, as the puck intercepted here by Mahtomedi as they look to start the rush back the other way. Intercepted again there by Dilmany as it goes back to the far side as the Zephyrs try to carry a backhander into the St. Thomas Academy Cadet bench. And the backup goaltender, Matt Schofester, will look behind him and throw the puck back into play.
A really good pace here so far to start off with in the first couple minutes here of this first period. St. Thomas has definitely come out strong, but Mahtomedi has definitely given them a push back, and it's great to see this back and forth action.
Face-off will be at center ice. It'll be Nagel, opposed by Berglund for the Zephyrs. It's won by Nagel. All the way back into the defensive zone where the Cadets can go back to get to it. 15:48 remaining here in the first period with Allison Vogt, I am Alex Westat, David Schuyler, and Arlen Becker in the truck. And again, we want to thank all of our crew as a shot on there from the blue line off the stick of Carter Haycraft for the Zephyrs is into the glove of Lardy for our first shot on goal of the game.
And Mahtomedi here at the first shot on goal after we just talked about St. Thomas, of course, being a very strong first period team. Of course, it's early, but I've liked what I've seen out of Mahtomedi so far.
The Zephyrs average 30.6 shots on goal per game, and the Cadets only give up 25.8 shots on goal. So when they come for the Zephyrs, they are going to have to be high-quality chances. Graham turned the puck over into the attacking zone as he collided with Brooks Bond from behind, and a turnover back again on the half wall. It's been gotten here by Cav Brunner. Off the far side, turned it over, and a shot on Dardis missed wide to the right off the stick there of Tanner Brower. On the half wall, as the Zephyrs look to come back here, Bond send it back into the Mahtomedi defensive end where Grant Dardis can reset here to the near side, looking further for Charlie Drake as the puck goes once more into the far side corner. First to it for the Zephyrs is Johnny Go. All the way back through center. Work can be taken again by one of the captains for the Zephyrs, Tony Newbeck. Tony on the year, 2 goals, 9 assists for 11 points. And again, a COVID shortened year, both teams having played 17 games coming into play this one. And we wondered coming into the game, because we saw the Hill Murray Pioneers do this on Saturday in their final game of the season, we wondered if we might see a cancellation due to the COVID-19 risks that some teams in Class A and Class 2A have been facing here over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, sometimes like we said in the opening segment here, this game isn't going to mean much anything for seeding. It's more of a tune-up game for both these teams against a very quality opponent. So we both had kind of wondered if, maybe just to play it safe, if we wouldn't have a game tonight, like we saw with Hill Murray, because they didn't want to take any risks with COVID.
Jackson Hallam, future Michigan Wolverines, getting into the attacking zone with a backhanded shot into the glove of Ben Dardis, who holds on for his first save of the game.
Yeah, and you saw there the captain for St. Thomas, of course, kind of giving Ben Dardis a check there on the chest after he shot that puck.
The St. Thomas Academy Cadets, making the state tournament a year ago, finished in 4th place. They won their opening round game, I believe it was against the Andover Huskies, in an upset in that section, before losing to the Hill Murray Pioneers in the semifinal round and finishing out in 4th place. On a rush back the other way, Cav Brunner, a centering pass in front, and just lost the handle on it was Ryan Berglund. Held in here, Dardis fanned on it. It can be turned over further here now for Dylan Duxon. Wristed shot through, big save made back through the slot on a beautiful pad save by Karsten Lardy. Back through center, all the way down, icing is waved off. Dardis goes out to play it from his goal post, leaves it for Grant there on the near side, as it's tied up once more in the half wall. Picked up by Grant Dardis as the Zephyrs try to carry it back in. It can be taken all the way once again into the St. Thomas Academy defensive end. 13-18 remaining here, period number 1. Shots on goal favoring the Zephyrs so far, 2-1. Philmany on the far side, pass was intercepted, went off, and offsides is weighed off there by Seth Nelson trying to carry the puck further into the zone. Right on a backhand there, can be played further by J.D. Metz for the Zephyrs to reset. You're onto the near side, stretch pass further up ahead for Charlie Drake into the attacking zone as it's rung all the way onto the far side for Johnny Johansson. Side up there. On the puck here, Seth Nelson with a centering pass in front, was looking for Adam Johnson coming here to the near side, out in front, and unable to get a handle on that one was wide open in front, Charlie Drake. On the rush back the other way. Statine flipped to the opposite side corner onto the laid offside call where it can be picked up again by Tony Newbeck for the Zephyrs. Further up ahead, long stretch pass looking for Drake into the attacking zone, but lost a handle on it into his skates. A shot on goal, and a big blocker save made by Karsten Lardy. Johnson sent the puck off to the far side where it can be played further by Johansson all the way down the length of the ice. Icing is waved off, and Grant Dardis will go back to play it here for Mahtomedi. To the near side, Cav Brunner trying to get to the puck first, has to avoid Statine and able to do so, but now the Cadets back in the attacking zone. Brower lost the handle on it. Brunner trying to flip the puck off the end boards there before Brent Galenchin can carry the puck in again. Gaining the attacking zone all the way around. Statine to it here for St. Thomas Academy, given pressure by Ethan Peterson. To the near side here for Cunningham for the Cadets. As St. Thomas Academy tries to carry the puck out right here near the boards, and Adam Johnson with a nice play sends it all the way back around. Johansson on the breakout through the legs of Tommy Deverell down the length of the ice, and icing waved off once more. Newbeck Pass further up ahead was looking to spring Ryan Berglund into the attacking zone. Now Williams here for the Cadets. Slows up, turns the puck over for Haycraft, to carry it back in. Icing waved off once more. Lardy out to play it to the opposite side corner. Deverell lost it into his skates, is battling for that puck and taking it away as Dylan Duxon sent it further back into the zone before Hallam can start a rush back the other way for the Cadets. Here's Strobel into the attacking zone with a shot from the circle, missed wide to the left to the opposite side corner. Philmany, Hallam has a stick around him there by Newbeck for the Zephyrs as they'll tie up again here. Philmany lost the handle on it, and pulling back to try to make that play further was Ryan Berglund right near the Zephyr bench. Goes back down into the zone again. A very fast-moving first period here. A lot of speed, a lot of skating here between these two teams.
Yeah, both these teams have a lot of great speed coming into this game, and they also have some great passing. They can make those tape-to-tape passes and really keep this game moving at a fast pace.
Cronin with a nice block on the shot there by Grant Dardis. It's recovered by Hallam for the Cadets. Into the equipment there of Grant Dardis on the backhand. Further up ahead here to the near side was looking for Charlie Drake into the attacking zone. Lardy comes out to play it for the Cadets. In the skates, Johnny Grove applying some pressure there to Wright defensively for the Cadets. Jared Wright, one of our players to watch as well for St. Thomas Academy, as I believe Jared Wright is committed to Colgate next year. Wright with a shot wide to the left. And the puck still held in at the blue line for a chance now again for the Zephyrs to reset. Here's Grant Dardis in his own zone, turned it over to Wright, working back the other way, and another big save by Ben Dardis on a short angle chance for Max Nagel. Johansson down further for Nagel. Wright has it into the corner. Wright trying to skate around Kavbrunner defensively, goes back to the blue line once more here again for Tommy Cronin with a shot wide to the right. First to it, Seth Nelson for the Zephyrs, flipped down the length of the ice and off the stick of Cronin back into the zone. No, it is not off the stick of Cronin, and so icing is called. 9:35 remaining here, period number one. Shots on goal, 4-2, Mahtomedi.
This has been a great game so far. A lot of good back and forth pace. I think Mahtomedi's had a little bit more of a push. Lardy's had to be sharp, make some really great saves. Dardis here, as we just saw, House had to make a nice save short side.
Trent Einer again on your screen, the head coach in his second season of the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. We went over his resume. Graduated Rosemont High School in 1988 and Miami of Ohio in 1994, the year in which he was the captain of the Red Hawks. Off the face-off draw win. Off to the half wall. Johnson trying to start a break back through center. Intercepted here again by Steen for the Cadets. On a stick lift, Graham picks it up into the attacking zone for St. Thomas Academy, trying a centering pass in front for Bond. Lost it in his skates as he was spun around and taken away again by Brower. Brower through center. Some crossovers to gain some speed, but offsides would have been the Cadets, so Brower pulls it back to the near side. Working his way on in, Brooks Bond. Ben Dardis stops it behind his net, fielded further here for Ethan Peterson on the far side, then leaked back through center once more for Bond. To the far side again for St. Thomas Academy as they look to start the rush back out. A little bit too far there for Ethan Peterson as he tried to make the interception, and the Zephyr parents love the call of icing there as they feel that they were slighted the first couple of times. So we'll have a face-off in the St. Thomas Academy end.
Yeah, even the coaches were clapping on that one for the ref to call icing finally. But so far, it's been some really good hockey here. St. Thomas had a little bit more of a push there in the last couple minutes, and Mahtomedi now has this offensive zone draw, and they can maybe really get something going.
Face off to the left of Karsten Lardy. It's won by the Zephyrs' Ryan Berglund. Sent down and low. A little bit too far for Carter Haycraft, who lost it in the corner boards. It'll tie up again near the corner. Strobel picking up the loose puck here for St. Thomas Academy. Off to the far side again, further for Tommy Deverell into the attacking zone with a shot on into the glove of Ben Dardis. And if you're shooting on Ben Dardis, the glove is not where you want to look.
No, Ben Dardis definitely knows how to flash the leather to make those saves. He's been a really stout goalie for them and for Mahtomedi here in net. And, we talked about last year, he had big shoes to fill, and he's come in and done that.
The St. Thomas Academy Cadets coming into this game off of a 5-2 loss to the Eden Prairie Eagles their last time out. Losers of 3 in a row. But take that stat with a grain of salt, because their losses have come twice to Eden Prairie and once to Hill Murray. So some of the top teams in the state in Class 2A are the last 3 losses. But an oddity as well, because before the 3 losses for St. Thomas Academy, they had 3 wins in a row, preceded by 3 ties in a row. So some odd streaks there for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. Resetting play here again. 7:58 remaining here in the opening period. Zephyrs out shooting the Cadets 4-3, but no goals on the scoreboard yet for two high-flying offenses. Dylan Duxon goes past Tackney on the far side to reset again here for St. Thomas Academy. Pressure provided here by Berglund for the Zephyrs. Tackney with speed flips it around. Carter Haycraft as it goes back into the Mahtomedi end once more. Ben Dardis flipped onto the near side here. Carter Haycraft, the 6-foot-tall sophomore, trying to field the puck back out of the zone. Reset once more for Grant Dardis. Backhanded to the far side for Cav Brunner on a stretch. Looking for Haycraft. This will be too far for him. And once more we'll have an icing.
And Mahtomedi seems to really kind of thrive off those stretch passes. They've had a few of them here in the first period where they just seem to find that guy on the red line, maybe in their on the offensive blue line, and can hit him. This one, of course, did not click, but had it, he would have been off to the races.
Face-off upcoming here to the right of Dardis. It'll be Nagel who wins the draw against Seth Nelson. On the backhand, was looking in front for Hallam, and another big save made by Dardis. Nagel to pick up the loose puck here. Tillmany off to the far side. The Cadets cannot hold it onside, and so reset once more here for the Cadets as they go back into their zone. And what we've seen so far out of the Cadets is ability for St. Thomas Academy to just stretch the ice and get a lot of speed going through neutral.
Yeah, they're a very fast team, and of course they're able to find each other too. They just seem to always know where each other is on the ice to make those great passes and get that speed going.
Seth Nelson tried to clear the zone. Tillmany sent it back in further. Cav Brunner to gather it behind his own boards. Evades a check there from right all the way back to Cronin at the point. To the near side, Tillmany back down and low. Cronin trying to work around Fand on it, and Johnny Grove unable to take advantage. To the far side corner boards, Nagel picks it up down and low, working his way in front, and a big save made by Dardis, closing the 5-hole. Nagel backhanded to Tillmany at the blue line, sent back down and low further once more for Hallam, or right rather, and it comes all the way back again here for Tillmany. Back down and low, Nagel. Intercepted here by the Zephyrs, and an odd, like, butterflying puck all the way back through center, and the Zephyrs can change their lines. We talked to Allison about how good St. Thomas Academy is in this first period, and we're starting to see a little bit here. Brower with a nice shot block made by Johnny Newbeck as a puck again through center. But on that last possession for St. Thomas Academy, as we have an icing call coming here, it felt like a power play for the Cadets.
Yeah, they definitely have started to turn it on here in the last 10 minutes or so of this period. Right away, it seemed to come out where Mahtomedi had some of the better play and a little bit stronger play, but now St. Thomas Academy, they're really starting to flash that talent that they have, and they're just cohesiveness as a unit.
Max Nagel on that nice chance, looking 5-hole on Ben Dardis, and for Nagel, 14-10 for 24 on this shortened season for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. Newbeck on the backhand, looking further here for J.D. Metz, trying to start the rush back out of the zone for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, wearing their alternate, I guess I would say, yellow jerseys. And the offside's not called, working his way in, but then harassed from behind there was Ethan Peterson breaking his way to the net. Metz on a nice stop. Johnson with a forehand blast before it's taken again by Austin Williams. To the near side, looking for Cunningham to start the breakout back the other way for St. Thomas Academy. They'll dig it out again here near the blue line. Johnson, providing assistance, is able to work it free. Adam Johnson with a shot into the glove of Karsten Lardy, who holds on for another face-off. 5:13 remaining here in period number 1. 5-5, the shots on goal, but neither goaltender beaten so far.
That was a pretty standard save there for Lardy. All he had to do is kind of hold out his glove, and he was able to catch it no problem.
Once again, hello to the 89 now of you watching currently on YouTube. If you'd like to send us a comment, let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you over the course of our broadcast today or tonight, as in our second game of our doubleheader, we'll have Mahtomedi Zephyr girls hockey facing off against Tartan TNT in the opening game of the Section 4A quarterfinals. On the gain into the zone, J.D. Metz tried to dunk it on in before it goes here to the near side again. Nice play by Carter Haycraft to work that puck free and send it back to the far side again for the Cadets. Satine behind his own net comes near side here for Strobel on the half wall. Worked all the way back once more, but unable to hold his own. That time was Grant Dardis. We're going to have a whistle that blows here on the offsides.
Yeah, just a little bit of a mishandle on the puck there. You can see, he kind of looked up to the sky, knew that he probably should have had that, but the refs made the right call there on the offsides.
So we'll have a face-off at neutral ice here with 4:43 remaining in the period, as it'll be Berglund against Hallam once more. Face-off pushed back there, and Dardis is able to pick it up there, as I think Hallam was trying to spring the offense forward. Lardy stopped behind his own net for Johansson. Johansson for the Cadets as they try to carry the puck back through center. Long pass knocked down at center ice with some great hand-eye by Carter Haycraft. Into the attacking zone, Haycraft trying to work his way on, tries a backhand in front, looking for a receiver, but the pass intercepted by Tommy Deverell for the Cadets. On a rush through center, Tommy Deverell further up ahead for Jackson Hallam. Hallam trying a nice little toe drag move, but was unable to get it off successfully. Hallam picking the puck up here. We're going to have our first power play of the game as Ryan Berglund will head off for a trip.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate tripping penalties. You could tell he's going for the puck, but at the end of the day, if you get it caught in their skates and you trip the guy, it's a trip, no matter what.
One of the eye-popping statistics from this game tonight is the disparity for the Cadets between their power play percentage and their penalty kill percentage. For the Cadets on the power play this year, 39% even, and on the penalty kill, 69.8%. But you talked about in our pregame before we came on air, it doesn't really matter as long as those two numbers add up to 100.
Yeah, right now, that penalty kills are really bad. That's pretty bad at the end of the day. But when you have a power play that's clicking at almost 40%, that easily makes up for their penalty kill woes.
Zephyrs no slouch on the penalty kill in their own right, 82.4% on the year. Hallam looking to reset back in his own zone as his Cadets look to start again on the power play. Hallam for Nagel here onto the far side as he has to cut it back. Denied on the entry there by Dylan Duxon. Nagel trying to work around Duxon again. Lost a handle on it briefly before he takes it to the corner. Right at the blue line, far side for Hallam. Top of the circle. Wristed shot through. Big save by Dardis with the blocker. Tied up there. As it goes all the way back. Right unable to handle it as the Zephyrs penalty killers were changed. And the Cadets trip quickly, try to carry it on in. Nagel from the far side circle. Work around Grant Dardis off to the far side. Still worked in. Peterson with a backhand clearing attempt. Hallam will take it here again, working his way back to the point. Hallam, give and go there for right, off to the far side, further again for Nagel. Nagel, working his way around, evading some pressure there by J.D. Metz as the puck comes back through center on the play by Metz, and the Mahtomedi Zephyr parents looking for a call. Hallam to reset again here with 35 seconds remaining on the power play time to the Cadets. 6-5 shots on goal, St. Thomas Academy. Nagel working his way into the slot with a wrister wide to the left. Bond able to get to it again for St. Thomas. Cronin tied up into the corner as Newbeck tried to get it back out, but was unable to do so. It's held in by Hallam again. Hallam, who's been on the ice for all of this power play time. Shot on the goal, saved by Dardis. Hallam again from the far side circle, working his way in. Pass out front for Nagel, and another big save by Ben Dardis as the puck cleared out of the zone by Dylan Duxon. 1 second remaining and none, and the Zephyrs have returned to full strength. Cronin quickly into the attacking zone. Cronin with a nice little move there before the puck back again out through center. Racing to get to it here onto the near side. Owen Herod. Herod checked into the boards, and the Zephyrs head into the power play.
They're getting him for tripping here. I thought maybe the call would maybe been interference, but they're getting him for a trip. No matter which way you put it, I guess it's a penalty.
So the Zephyrs will operate on the power play here for the first time today. Shots on goal now 8-6 Mahtomedi with 1:48 remaining here in period number one. The Zephyrs on the year on their power play 19.0, a slight increase from where they were last year for their power play statistics. And again for the Cadets, 69.8% on the penalty kill. Off the draw, pushed back here to the near side half wall. Going all the way back to the blue line, and Graham able to play it, but a nice play by J.D. Metz to hold his own briefly before Williams able to field it back once to center again. Peterson. Again, Zephyrs, you see there, 19% on the power play. Adam Johnson into the attacking zone with a toe drag, but a beautiful block, selling the body out, did Tommy Statine. J.D. Metz, the far side pass intercepted again by Williams, who sends it down the length of the ice, and the penalty kill strong so far for the Cadets.
There was a little bit of a breakdown in the neutral zone when Johnson had that chance come in. He was able to walk right through the middle like he owned it. So it'll be interesting to see how this continues to go.
Tony Newbeck was looking for a tip play out in front, but was unable to get his stick on it to the near side half wall. 1:10 remaining on the power play time. Less than a minute to go here in the first period. Ben Dardis to stop it. J.D. Metz looking to reset and then leaves it further for Peterson here on the near side. Ethan Peterson plays it back behind for one more rush, perhaps, with 56 seconds remaining now on the power play time to the Zephyrs. Ethan Peterson gaining speed through center. Puts it here further again for Haycraft. Shot on goal. Save made, and then comes back to the near side on the redirection. Adam Johnson tried to ring it around the corner boards, but instead it went off of the netting. So we'll have another face-off upcoming. 28-1 remaining in period number 1. 40 seconds on the power play.
So far, it seems like St. Thomas Academy does a pretty good job of clearing the zone when they have the chance to. But I will say, it seems like they struggle a little bit when Mahtomedi has those zone entries, and that's when Mahtomedi is creating chances off the rush on the power play right now.
On the face-off, Lynn Graham able to field it all the way down. Dardis will stop it once more. 20 seconds remaining on the power play on the first period time. 29 remaining on the power play to Mahtomedi. Cav Brenner skating across the red line, coming here to the near side, trying to carry the puck in, lost in the body, and then fielded back out to center again for Johnson. To Duxon onto the far side here. 4 seconds remaining in the first period. Duxon with one more chance into the zone. Tried to send it on the backhand, gloved out of harm's way by Tommy Statine. And a very fast, a very highly engaging first period here between the Cadets and the Zephyrs.
Yeah, this first period has been very fast, very skilled. Both these teams clearly have a lot of skill, which is why they're ranked in the top 10 in both Section A and AA. And so I'm excited to see what happens here in the second and third after this 0-0 game. It doesn't seem like either team's going to let up.
After the first period of play, shots on goal 9-8 in favor of the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. We'll step aside. We have some words of information for you. We'll be back to start the second period in just a few moments. This is your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr boys hockey.
Currently serving military vets or immediate families of troops killed in action, VetTix is for you. Sign up for free to become a VetTixer and start creating new happy memories that will last a lifetime. Go to vettix.org to become a member now. VetTix, give something to those who gave.
Vehicle accidents are stressful enough. You don't need someone showing up at the scene trying to pressure you into letting them tow away your vehicle, often falsely claiming they were dispatched by the police or an insurance company. Be wary of any unsolicited tow truck that arrives on the scene of an accident. In fact, in some places, it's illegal. Motorists should not feel pressured to agree to a tow. Call your roadside assistance provider or insurance company for towing company suggestions, or consult with police on the scene. Always get the price and terms in writing along with the location of the tow yard before letting a tow truck driver hook up your vehicle and take it away. If you suspect fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. That's 1-800-TEL-NICB, or visit our website, www.nicb.org. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Bring it. Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
My son Andrew was always a joy to be around. He was smart and talented with a personality that just drew people to him. And he is all of those things and more today. I always taught him to be accepting of other people and to be true in everything you do. That's why when Andrew was suddenly fired from his teaching job for being gay, I literally felt my heart break. As a parent, you try to prepare your child for anything that can happen in life, but how do you prepare them for something like that? I hope for a future where no matter what a person's sexual orientation is, people will be treated with respect, equality, and love.
An exciting first period as advertised on this Monday afternoon between the St. Thomas Academy Cadets and the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, but we are, as we started, scoreless after the first period of play. With the lovely Allison Vogt, I am Alex Westhead, and Allison, we knew coming into this game that these teams would be very fast-paced, and we knew that the goaltending would be exceptional. We've seen both sides of that so far through 17.
Yeah, both teams have been super fast, super skilled. A lot of great passing that we're seeing tape to tape. Both teams are able to fly through the neutral zone and also make some great stretch passes. And of course, both the goaltenders haven't given up a goal yet. We've seen great saves from both goaltenders to keep this game 0-0.
Well, we don't have any goal highlights to show you yet. We do have some statistics from the first period. You see the Cadets a slight lead in shots, 9-8 overall. Both teams have had their chances on the power play. St. Thomas Academy with some good looks and the Zephyrs with some same on their side. Mahtomedi will have 12 seconds of power play time here to start the second period. And for a period, again, that St. Thomas Academy so dominant in this year, plus 27 on goal differential. Mahtomedi did a good job of weathering that storm.
Oh yeah, they definitely did. They were really strong in their defensive zone. And of course, Ben Dardis comes up big. He made some really big saves, especially there on the penalty kill, to keep this game 0-0. And I think they probably knew that. Coming out, they're going to have to weather the storm and then really give a push back in the second and third period. As
we mentioned in our open, this is one of the unique experiences where both teams know their section opponent and their destination coming into the game today. And the Mahtomedi Zephyrs will be the number 2 seed in Section 4A behind a Gentry Academy squad. And those two teams appear to be on a collision course, but the Zephyrs will get St. Paul Academy and then one of either Tartan or South St. Paul in the semifinal round.
Yep, Mahtomedi, of course, like you said, they are number 2 in to Gentry, which is also a very strong team. And I think Mahtomedi, though, is going to be more than well prepared. When you're playing teams like Hill Murray, St. Thomas Academy, that, you got to beat the best to be the best. So I think they were, we'll see what happens here coming up in sections.
On the other side, the Section 3AA bracket where St. Thomas Academy resides, the Cadets will be the number 1 seed and will play the winner of the Bloomington Jefferson and the Park of Cottage Grove game coming up in their opener in Section 3AA. We'll step aside and wait for the ice to be resurfaced and freezed, and we'll be back for the start of period number 2 in just a few moments. For Allison Vogt, I'm Alex Westhead. Scoreless after 1. This is your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr boys hockey.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner! Go.
Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there. We're the family. Come on. Yeah! Oh, I thought you were on my team.
Questions about the coronavirus?
I'm here to share some simple steps you can take to help protect yourself and others.
Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Wash your hands often with soap and water for 20+ seconds.
Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue.
Clean and disinfect surfaces and objects. Wash hands after touching commonly used items.
Together, we can help slow the spread.
In 2010, Liz was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. After losing her job due to treatment, she was left with few options. A housing voucher gave her hope that she could find a place to live with her daughter. To her surprise, that same voucher would result in her being denied housing.
I felt so dejected and ashamed. It was shocking to me that people actually just discriminated against you for the type of income you were utilizing to pay your rent.
Now, thanks to a new law in New York State, it is illegal for people like Liz to be denied housing based on their source of income. Do you use non-wage income such as veterans or disability benefits, Section 8 vouchers, or child support to pay for housing? If you suspect discrimination, call 1-800-788-9898 to contact the New York State Office of the Attorney General or visit endincomebiasny.com.
I am at this point proud to say that I am using my voucher and a proud renter of an apartment where my daughter and I are very happily living.
Kids will be kids, which just goes to say kids will be curious. They get into everything, everything. If there's a loaded firearm in the house, they could get their hands on that too. Keeping firearms locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition in a place inaccessible to kids can help keep your loved ones safe from family fire. Safe gun storage saves lives.
Grandma, when did people start using seatbelts?
Sweetheart, I'm pretty sure seatbelts have been around in most cars for more than 40 years.
Do seatbelts really save lives?
Yes, they certainly do. I just read that seatbelts save as many as 15,000 lives a year.
If my mommy and daddy have been wearing their seatbelts, would they have lived?
Do you know a veteran who served in Vietnam and later died from Agent Orange exposure or PTSD? Since the Vietnam War ended, thousands of Vietnam veterans have had their lives cut short. The In Memory program honors these veterans through a special ceremony each year in Washington, D.C. It costs nothing to nominate a veteran. Please visit vvmf.org/inmemory today.
For the Cadets and the Zephyrs, both teams have not experienced this situation frequently. Tied after the first period, scoreless 0-0. For the Zephyrs, win tied after 1-3 and 1 on the year. And for the Cadets of St. Thomas Academy, 1-1 and 1. At the St. Croix Valley Rec Center with Allison Vogt. I'm Alex Westhead, ready to start again period number 2. If you're interested in finding out SEC things coming up here for the Zephyrs, the Bears, and the Titans, you can do so by finding us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at SECTV Sports, Instagram.com/SECTV Sports, Facebook.com/Suburban Community Channels, and YouTube.com/SCCTV to find out where we are going to be next. 12 seconds remaining on the power play time on the tripping minor that was assessed to Brooks Bond near the later stages of that period number 1. Not a lot of time to work with here on the power play, but what can the Zephyrs do to start off on a strong point here in period number 2?
They can get possession of the puck and set up in the offensive zone. This is a great chance for them to, really start off this period strong just by getting possession, and that, that can change everything. Hockey's a puck possession game, and if you can control the puck more, you can score more goals.
Hallam and Golenchin to start on the draw. That's not Golenchin, rather. That's Johnson. No, that is Golenchin. He just hid the middle part of the 8 under the jersey. As the puck is dropped, Golenchin wins it, and the Zephyrs with possession to start period number 2. J.D. Metz gaining the red line, will dump it back into the far side. It goes on the goaltender, Carson Lardy, who has stopped so far all 8 Zephyr shots coming his way. And now with the 7 seconds now remaining here in the power play time, as the Cadets have returned to full strength, so they forgot to enable the penalty clock again, so that's why it took so long for him to come on out. Down and low, Golenchin working around a stick lift there of Hallen, comes up all the way back to the near side, shot on goal, and another save made by Carson Lardy. To the far side, somehow that puck got held in. Peterson Rings it around. Williams to play it first again for the Cadets. Really nice move defensively. Peterson tying up the stick of Hallam. Goes back here to the near side again. Galenchin. Fought for near the half wall as Hallam tries to play it back out. Sent back and low by Cav Brunner. Williams, nice stick lift by Peterson off to the far side. Trying to work his way back in. Ethan Peterson, a shot on Larney with another big save. Devereaux tried to clear the puck out of the zone. It's held in there by Grant Dardis. Further again there for Berglund. Through center, Cav Brunner. Reset goes off the boards there on the near side as the puck flung down the length of the ice. This will go on Dardis, so icing is waved off. Dardis comes out to play it to Cav Brunner. Grant Dardis. Then far side again further, was looking for Carter Haycraft to start a rush back the other way, but Williams holds it at the red line and sends it back in. The two teams have returned to full strength. Here's Berglund. To the near side, Johansson with a nice hold at the line. Dylan Duxon, rather, not Dallas, with a nice carry into the attacking zone. Here's Dylan with a shot. Goes high over the glass on the rebound. Second chance. Could not get it over the sprawling Karsten Larney.
I think that puck was just kind of fluttering in him on the ice. And, you know, one of those things you don't really realize is when the puck is fluttering like that, how hard it is just to get a nice, decent, straight shot off that he just airmailed it.
Down and low. Jordan Tackany. Played on the backhand. Further work can be reset again here by Tristan Thilmany for the Cadets. Again, St. Thomas Academy 1-1-1 when tied after one. This again, game number 18 on the year for them, as the high school league mandated 18 games to be scheduled here for teams in the 2020-21 season. Metz further up ahead was looking into the attacking zone there for these efforts as it comes back again here to the near side once again for Tackany. Held in down and low. Was looking for a redirection play there of Charlie Drake out in front. And again, if the Drags are watching, I know that I mispronounced your son's name the last time, but I could not find the comment with the correct pronunciation. So if you are watching, please send that in, because I have the Beiersdorf one correct, and I want to get the Drag one correct as well. On a shot, Dardis with a save, looking for the rebound again, right, centers it in front, looking for Cronin, but a nice play by Drake to recover, flung all the way near a parent right near the bleachers, and I think that may have hit a parent out in front.
Yeah, I think it might have hit her right in the head.
As the St. Thomas Academy community goes to the aid of the parent you saw got hit in the head there. And certainly hope the best for her. Hopefully there's a trainer that'll come over to attend some first aid as well. It's one of the dangers of the game of hockey. You always got to watch for flying pucks. Face off to the left. One by Graham. Williams with a drive and hit out in front as Cunningham appeared, and he'll head to the bench as that shot got blocked by Cunningham in front. Brower was back again. Williams will ring it around the corner boards to the far side. Bond to it first. Big collision there. We're going to have another power play here, as it'll be Owen Herod who's headed off to the penalty box.
Might be getting him for boarding or interference, maybe.
And there'll be a conversation here as well to see if there's anything addition. The 2 minutes are currently up for Owen Herod. We'll see what the conversation is. Looks to be just the 2 for now. So a second chance of the power play for the Cadets. 0 for 1 so far. We're at 13:44 remaining, period number 2. Shots on goal even at 10, but we are still scoreless. Face-off, Johnson trying to win it against Nagel, sent back to Hallam at the point. The far side right as they reset again. Nagel for right, walking it back here to the near side. Here's Hallam, and committed to the University of Michigan. Back to right, the Colgate man soon to be. Hallam again, near side circle, back to the far side. Nagel trying to give and go. Great intercept by Adam Johnson to fling it down the length of the ice. 1:38 remaining on the power play time. Karsten Larney for this high-flying Cadet power play, 39% on the power play coming into play today. Here's Wright, down to the far side, Nagel cutting it back. Nice clear attempt made by Galenchin. Hallam to the near side circle, working in, big save right into the block M of Ben Dardis, who holds on for a face-off.
Ben Dardis coming up strong there on that shot. He came out, challenged, and was able just to swallow that puck right up. Of course, if you're Mahtomedi right now, the last thing you want to do is probably take any more penalties after this one with such a dangerous power play that St. Thomas has.
Thank you to Anthony, and I'm going to mispronounce your last name, so I won't even try. But thank you for saying that number 6 is Tashney. So for Jordan Tashney, thank you very much. And again, very much appreciate that, as we don't have the access to the coaches and the pronunciations that we once did. Off the draw, Statine. Nice stick play made by Duxon back through center. Williams will reset. Statine evading again. Dylan Duxon on the forecheck. Now a chance again for Galentian. Recovered here by Duxon, who skates it back wisely to center to wind some more of the clock down. 57 seconds remaining on the power play time. All the way down, Williams to restart again for the Cadets. Williams working here near side into the skates further of Statine. Through center with speed. Here's Graham. Working to the far side, left it there. Statine with a drive into the glove of Ben Dardis, who holds on, and a little extracurriculars with Grant Dardis saying hello to Brooks Bond.
Yeah, right there, Ben Dardis came out, really strong too, with his glove, flashed the leather a little bit. And Mahtomedi fans not happy right now that, oh, nope, but they're both getting penalties, so we'll get some coincidental minors here.
So after the save by Dardis, you'll see it right there. The cross check the other way, and then Grant Dardis getting the stick up high on Bond. So Bond, that'll be his second penalty tonight, and Grant Dardis is first. So it'll be, yeah, it should be 5-on-4 here. So 41 seconds remaining of power play time to St. Thomas Academy. 12:25 remaining in period number 2. Shots on goal 12-10 Cadets. They were 9-8 St. Thomas Academy after the first. So we'll have the face-off here to Ben Dardis as everything gets sorted out. Berglund. Posed by Nagel on the draw for the Cadets. Face-off one by Nagel, goes all the way back again. Right. Sent back down a low further again for Nagel. Looking for that swing man and unable to feed it to the point. That time was Brower as it goes back here to the near side. Try to get cleared out, but unable to do so by Berglund. Back down to low. Nagel holds it in at the blue line, sent down and low further. Brower first to it for the Cadets. Working his way out in front with 20 seconds remaining on the power play time. Hallam here at the near side circle, working his way on in as there's a collision and bodies fighting for positioning out front. Right. Again at the point, back for Nagel on that far side. Right once more at the point. Takes a shot, goes here to the near side for Hallam. Hallam with a drive, did not hit the net or it hit positioning out in front. Berglund clears it back out, glove down by Hallam. Nice play. Deverell trying to stick handle around Brower with a centering pass in front. Stick to side by the goaltender Ben Dardis. To the near side, Hagel gaining speed. Nagel trying to work around again, looking for some space out in front with the wraparound attempt. Unable to get it to go. Dardis makes a big save, and the puck goes off the end boards.
Another great save by Dardis there to, stuff him on that wraparound. And right before that, he made a great save with his blocker. He had to look around a St. Thomas Academy player to be able to see that puck.
Nice clearing there again by Duxon, and the Cadets will reset as the Zephyrs have returned to full strength. Through neutral ice, Johansson put the puck back in off the half wall where the two defenders will talk about who gets it. It'll be Ty Decker to do so. Hit off a stanchion. Duxon trying to carry it back in on the far side. Checked by Cunningham, and again checked by Johansson as they work in. A centering pass looking for Johnson in front without a receiver. Johnson flipped off the half wall. First to it will be Johansson for the Cadets as Duxon tries to provide some pressure there. You have Brunner, fanned on it. Now for Tyler Graham. Into the attacking zone. Graham trying to stick handle. Dardis makes a save. Cannot get the second chance. And the Cadets take the 1-0 lead.
Right there, but Dardis just could not control that rebound, couldn't swallow up that puck, and the big juicy rebound just sitting right there for him to throw up in the back of the net.
So Tyler Graham, the junior for St. Thomas Academy, with goal number 8 on the season. And for the Cadets, when scoring the first goal of the game, they are 8-2-1. And the Zephyrs 2-5-0 when leading, or when trailing after, or when they have conceded the first goal. So Ben Dardis is out, and as should be Brooks Bond. And so both players return to their respective benches. So the goal for Tyler Graham, again, is the 8th of the season, giving the Cadets the lead at the 6:36 mark of period number 2. Looking again to restart. Tashney getting the blue line into the attacking zone with a shot on. Dardis has to make another save that goes again to the end boards. Near side play, right. Trying to play it there as bodies collide again. Lost in the skates there a couple of times, and now Neubeck to pick it up here for the Zephyrs to the far side. Pocket pick there by Wright. Held in again. Wright once more. The blue line, Statine here for Tashney. Back down the low again further. Back to Tashney working it around the blue line, but lost it over his stick. On the pressure here to the near side. Cadets will be offside delayed, and so Neubeck has time to play. Neubeck, long stretch pass goes off of the stick into the attacking zone of Johnny Grove, and the Cadets will reset again. Statine looking to restart play here. 9:33 remaining period. Number 2 shots on goal, 16-10, with the Cadets leading 1-0. Nagel, offsides is called. And that last extra move at the blue line forced the Cadets in offside.
You never want to make those extra little moves around the blue line. You kind of throw your whole teammates off when they think you're going to go in the zone, then all of a sudden you make one little move back, and that can throw the whole play off.
Again, we have hit the century mark of our live stream right now on YouTube. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you over the course of this broadcast or the section quarterfinal game in girls hockey later tonight. On the play into the attacking zone, here's Strobel. Working down and low, nice play to cut it back. Goes to the blue line here again for Thilmany. Shot through, loose puck out in front. Deverell has it in the skates, but he could not field it cleanly. Looking for a redirection play with Strobel open in front. Here's Thilmany again. Shot through, Dardis puts it back to the half wall, or the end boards, I should say. Strobel picking the puck up again as they try to carry it back. Neubeck, further again here for Cav Brunner, has his stick lifted, and the puck again back through center, flung down once more by Adam Johnson.
Mahtomedi back on their heels a little bit. So far, St. Thomas has really come out hard and fast in this period, and they've had pretty much all the play. Right now, they're out shooting Mahtomedi 7-2.
7-2 in the period. It's been probably about 5 minutes since the Zephyrs have had a shot on goal. Coming with the power play time to the Cadets, and the play that followed.
The power play really gave them momentum, all the St. Thomas at that moment, kind of really set Mahtomedi back on their heels.
Face off to the left of Ben Dardis as Graham, the goal scorer for the Cadets, will be opposed by Berglund for Mahtomedi. Berglund wins it back. Graham able to get to it first. And again, they'll tie up into the half boards there. Neubeck and Cunningham. J.D. Metz in there for help as well. Graham, a little bit of extra bodies flying there. Again, this game relatively meaningless as far as section play goes. Both teams have been seeded, but you sure wouldn't be able to tell it with the way both of these teams are playing.
No, and if you want to, when you're going into section play, you want to be playing some of your best hockey. So you got to keep the foot on the gas and keep going. Even though this game might not mean a whole lot, as far as section seeding goes, or it doesn't mean anything, you still need to play at 100%. Otherwise, you're going to develop some bad habits. In
the first intermission, we talked about where these teams will be heading next. Mahtomedi will host St. Paul Academy, not St. Thomas Academy, St. Paul Academy in the first round of the Section 4A quarters, and the Cadets will await the winner of the 4-5 game between Bloomington, Jefferson, and Park before starting their section tournament run. Tashney further up ahead for Brower, was looking again for Graham into the zone. Dardis will have to go again as it goes to the corner. Brower with a stick tied up there by Brunner, lost in the skates again. Brunner tries to clear the puck out of the zone, now finally able to do so as it's sent back in. The Cadets will be a delayed offside. Neubeck looking to restart this offense again for Mahtomedi. Pass further up ahead, nice play into the zone here further, but again it goes flipped off the glass all the way here to the near side, and Cav Brunner again to play. Further for Drake into the attacking zone. Bothered there defensively by Johansson for the Cadets as they'll tie up again. Physical play. What's on menu here today between the Cadets and the Zephyrs? Through neutral ice, Tommy Cronin. Cronin tried to stick a angle around Brunner, and a good pad save. We're going to have a penalty here, as it'll be a hooking call that I believe will go against Cav Brunner, and the Cadets headed to the power play once more.
That's the last thing you want to do if you're Mahtomedi right now is, of course, take a penalty when your team's back on your heels a little bit. You definitely don't want to give this lethal power play any more chances than they've already had.
So Cav Brunner off for the hooking minor at 9:55 of period number 2. Again, you might see in our camera shots the junior varsity game will take place at 7 on the other rink here at the St. Croix Valley Rec Center. On the draw, Statine working his way back to the point to the far side. Williams a drive, but blocked. Nice play by Adam Johnson. Now able to clear it back out, start a rush the other way. Ethan Peterson with a shot that missed wide to the left as the Zephyrs quickly will change their penalty killers. Williams On the pressure, looking to carry through neutral ice. Williams to the near side here for Stettin. Into the attacking zone, trying to evade the pressure here from Mahtomedi. Stettin cuts it back, goes for Cronin again, into the zone off the half wall. All the way back in. Flung back through center there by Drake, and then Williams holds it back in before going low again for Cronin. Here's Cronin for Williams for the Cadets. Shot on, Dardis makes another big save. Graham with a stick lift there, lost a handle on it. Cronin goes all the way back here to Williams at the blue line for the Cadets. Sent back down and low. Cronin working his way into the circle. Cronin, a shot into the glove of Ben Dardis, who holds on.
Once again, Ben Dardis making those glove saves look easy. He's no issue. You can tell he's feeling confident when the save like that.
Thank you to Katie Barry for Draghi. I knew that it was close to that, so thank you for clarifying that pronunciation. Again, I appreciate you. Face off to the right of Dardis here, 6:09 remaining here in period number 2. Shots on goal 19-10. Cadets 104 remaining on the power play time to Cav Brunner. On the win, Deverell ties up there. Brower with a backhanded clearing back to the blue line there. Brower again on the forecheck. Down and low looking for Deverell. Played there by the body of Sean Doggett. Doggett with the forecheck. Nagel goes back for a right. Here for Hallam again, top of the circle, going to the far side again. Nagel, a shot hit off of a stick in front, and I think it was good positioning by Sean Doggett to send the puck out of play. Another face-off here in the Zephyr end.
So once again, St. Thomas Academy here getting another big push. A lot of chances here on the power play with 40 seconds remaining. You know, if you're Mahtomedi, you don't want to play the fire any longer, so they gotta get this puck out and hopefully not take any more penalties the rest of this game.
Face off won by the Cadets again. Right on the stick handle there, lifted it high. Brower. Far side again for Nagel. Reset again for Wright. Nagel again, top of the circle as they work around this umbrella. Hallam goes to the far side again, into the boot there of Nagel, who holds it at the blue line. Here's Wright. Wright with some space to Hallam near side, looking for a redirection, but a great stick lift out in front by Johnson, who sends it down the length of the ice. 13 seconds remaining on the power play time to St. Thomas Academy.
Yeah, that was a great stick lift to deny St. Thomas Academy of that chance. Something I've noticed about Mahtomedi's penalty kill here is they do a great job of kind of filling in where they need to be.
Hallam with a big rush and another big save by Ben Dardis. Back through center as the Zephyrs return to full strength. So this vaunted power play for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets so far been held off the score sheet. Down and low, Johansson evading the pressure there of Johnny Grove. Then Draghi trying to work around Thilmany for the Zephyrs. Both Draghi and Nelson on the pressure against Thilmany. There's one in again here by Nelson, trying to make something happen here, but great strength to free the puck here again for Draghi. Then Nelson back again for Grant. Dardis lost the handle on it. A little bit of confusion as to where the puck was, but on a 3-on-2 rush now, Graham offsides is called at the attacking zone blue line.
Someone thought the puck got a little antsy, got in a little bit before their puck carrier did, which it's a lucky break there from Mahtomedi as there was looking to be was going to be a 3-on-2 for St. Thomas Academy.
Face off in front of the Cadets bench. 4:20 remaining here in period number 2. Shots on goal 20-10 in favor of St. Thomas Academy in the period. 11-2 Cadets. Great play with the body there. Love to see that by Ty Decker.
Something we haven't really seen too much in this game actually is a lot of big hits or checks. These two teams are definitely more fast-skilled teams where they're not focusing on those big hits.
And for the Zephyrs, the first shot in a good long while off the stick of Dylan Duxon. And the goaltender Karsten Lardy will hold on after drawing the ire of some of the Cadets. So we'll have a face-off here to the right of Lardy. Again, if you're just joining us, a scoreless first period before at the 6:55 mark of the second period. Tyler Graham with his 8th of the season, giving the Cadets the 1-0 lead. Again, Mahtomedi and the Zephyrs 2-5 this season when giving up the first goal of the game. Off the face-off draw win. Williams going back again as it's into the skates there of Strobles. Will tie up right near the Zephyr bench. Players collide, bodies collide. Williams with a kick, try to keep that puck out. He's able to do so. Backhanded in by Johnson. Working all the way again here for Tashny. Back further again on the pressure. Back to the blue line, Newbeck. Going D to D, but a little bit too far, and it comes out again to J.D. Metz, who has to send it back into the zone. Lardy to stop it briefly. No, it hopped over his stick. Comes here to the near side. Johnson on the forecheck. Back again, Deverell. Intercepted here by Peterson on a good play, but blocked nicely. Back out of the zone by Jackson Hallam. Glove down by Peterson, trying to gain the attacking zone. Williams to take it again now. Further up ahead into the attacking zone here for Tommy Deverell. Deverell trying to force his way around Neubeck. Goes off to the far side, and a nice play by Galenchin. Intercepted here briefly. Hallam lost an edge, able to maintain his balance. Hallam to the near side here for Tashney with a drive into the pad save, and another big save by Dardis out in front. Williams on the forecheck down the length of the ice. The arm is up of the linesman, and so icing will be called. 2:47 remaining here, period number 2. Tyler Grimm's 8th of the season. The difference so far with the Cadets leading 1-0 over the Mahtomedi Zephyrs.
Yeah, a little bit more pushback here in Mahtomedi in the last couple of minutes. They've had a little bit more zone time. Did get one shot on goal. Here, Ben Dardis has came up for some couple big saves. I think that second one actually might have missed the net, but he stood tall there.
On the draw win, Nagel. Great pursuit to the puck, able to be freed here again by Grant Dardis. Dardis flipped off the glass down the length of the ice. Will have icing again, and it goes down. The Zephyr parents don't like it, and they were giving the linesman some comments earlier in the first period. And they don't like it again there, neither does the coaching staff for Jeff Poschel.
Yeah, typically, when you argue with the ref, you're not going to win, so.
Pays off to the left of Dardis. It'll be Berglund and Nagel on the draw. Berglund wins it to the corner boards there, but unable to play with the stick there as Nagel and Berglund again tie up. Right, shot on, and the waffle-boarded save made by Ben Dardis, excuse me. Dilmany shot through into the glove again, and we talk so much, Allison. That glove of Ben Dardis is tough to beat.
Yeah, he's so confident with it. He has no issue. Great hand-eye coordination there to track that puck, those pucks down, and just to catch them. Makes them look so easy.
So just 2:19 remaining here, period number 2. 22-11 the shots on goal here in this second period. The period of the long change. Face off to the right of Dardis. One here by Galenchin. Then J.D. Metz able to pick it back up the other way for the Zephyrs. J.D. Metz to the far side. Right delivers a check as it goes all the way to the far side. Adam Johnson centering pass in front with no receiver, except taken back the other way by Max Nagel. Nagel with 14 goals on the season. They maintain on side. Right with a shot. He scores. Top of the circle. Right with the goal. 2-0 Cadets.
He just came flying down that right wing there and just rifled it past Ben Dardis. He made that look so easy.
Jared Wright with the goal, his 14th of the season. And a pair of tallies here in the second period. Take a look at it here again, just right with that beautiful catch and shoot. Blocker side.
Of course, too, Mahtomedi had a defenseman there that you saw his stick was upside down. He's coming into the zone. He was just getting out the bench on a change that, a little bit of a change that kind of caught them. And, of course, St. Thomas Academy is a beneficiary of that.
J.D. Metz off the center ice face-off, taken here down low. They score back the other way. Seth Nelson, 2-1.
Great answer there by Mahtomedi.
Oh, are they waving it off now? As the officials will meet in their crease to talk about it. If it stands, it'll be Seth Nelson's first of the season.
It might be first of his varsity career because one of the captains for Mahtomedi just went and picked up the puck and gave it to their coach.
So again, the conversation here, we have the benefit of replay. So if we get a chance, let's take a look at it here. It was great pursuit by J.D. Metz carrying it into the zone. And then Seth Nelson, just great pursuit to the net. What could be the call here?
I'm not really sure what the call could be here. I don't know if they're thinking it's some type of crease violation or goaltender interference, but looks like they're calling it no goal based off of how they went to go talk to the Mahtomedi coach first.
And Jeff Poschel, the coach of the Zephyrs, a former goaltender with the Hill Murray Pioneers, certainly has the experience looking for the explanation there.
Well, it looks like they might be giving Mahtomedi a penalty now.
Well, let's take a look at it here. Again, Metz on the rush into the zone, able to put it in front for Seth Nelson, and I think it's right there in the blue paint. I think Johnny Grove would get called for player in the crease before the puck.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too. It's going to be like what would be considered an offsides call. You can't be in the crease unless the puck is there as a player.
And that is exactly what gets announced here. And I think the Zephyr fans might not like it, but I think that's the right call.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that that rule was made because, you know, you're not supposed to be able to interfere with the goaltender. The hard part about that is obviously on that play, the player standing in the crease had no impact on the play whatsoever, but that is the rule at the end of the day. Just need a little bit more awareness by Mahtomedi there to make sure that they're not in the crease before the puck is.
And the Bronx cheer again for the officials on the icing call there. Well, and it's something that you see at hockey at all levels too. A player standing in the crease, but like you said, no impact on the play, but as the rule's written, that's how it was enforced.
Yeah, it's just a tough break there for Mahtomedi. I mean, you know, it's one of those things, especially if it was supposed to be the kid's first varsity goal. Like I said, the captain there grabbed the puck right away for him, handed it to the coach, and of course now gets waved out. It's just a tough break.
Zephyrs trying to make it count for real this time. Down and low. Looking there on a redirection play, picked up here again, and we're going to get another power play for the Zephyrs as the stick slashed out of the hands of Johnny Grove.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call to make there all day when you hit the stick out of the player's hands. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer right there.
So it'll be Austin Williams to head to the penalty box. This will be the second attempt on the penalty kill for the Cadets. Second chance on the power play for the Zephyrs. 19% coming into the play, and again, that Cadet penalty kill percentage was 69.8%. They looked really good on that first kill.
Yeah, they did. I would say the biggest thing I noticed there that might be a little bit of something to watch for is that St. Thomas seems to kind of give a lot of room there in the middle on those rushes, and so I think Mahtomedi might have to look for those chances when they break back, if they ever have to break back into the zone.
On possession, J.D. Metz walking it back to the point, goes to the near side again here, Peterson skates it back to the slot to the far side. Johnson, give for Peterson to the far side. Circle with a drive and a big save made by the goaltender. Puck is still loose, but the Zephyrs can't get a stick on it. Ethan Peterson again. Goes to the near side here for Metz. Metz looking for the swingman in front. Got a shot on it, but fanned on it to the left. Ethan Peterson here. 22 seconds remaining in the second period. Peterson goes here again for Metz. Back to the far side there, Johnson. Nice little move there, trying to shot on, lifted it high over the goaltender. Metz lost a stick handle on it and then sent back again by Tristan Thilmany, high into the air. Still held in the zone now. Peterson here, 3 seconds remaining. Peterson from the far side half wall, sent down and low. The horn will sound. An exciting, fast pace, yet controversial second period.
Yeah, I definitely think St. Thomas Academy a little bit better of the play that period. Of course, they had the benefit of 2 power plays there, which gave them a lot of momentum coming in. But, you know, Mahtomedi they did seemingly strike back, but of course, that got waved off, so we'll see what happens here in the third. I expect a hard, fast third period.
23-13. Shots on goal through 2 periods of play. In that second period, the shots on goal were 14-5 in favor of the Cadets. We'll step aside for a few moments to show you some words that you might find useful. We'll be back for the second intermission conversation just a few moments. 2-1 Cadets, or 2-0, excuse me, Cadets lead. This is your home for Zephyr boys hockey.
Hi, I'm Ice-T. As a veteran, I know that for many former servicemen and women, the battle doesn't always end when they come home. Every day, 184 veterans are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, and sadly, 20 take their own lives. When nothing else helps, professionally trained service dogs can. American Humane, serving the U.S. military for over 100 years, rescues animals in need of forever homes and trains them to become free, life-saving service dogs for our nation's veterans. If you're a veteran or know a veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury, Please go to AmericanHumane.org to learn about their Pups for Patriots program. Let's give our veterans a fighting chance.
Some kids never smile. They're embarrassed by their crooked teeth. They want braces like the other kids, but their families can't afford them. Some may even try to straighten their teeth themselves. That can make everything worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. It helps provide orthodontic treatment to kids and teens whose families can't afford it. For kids who apply, are approved, and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, it can be life-changing. Their treatment is in the hands of an expert, a licensed local orthodontic specialist who improves their smiles by correctly aligning teeth and jaws. Some kids think they'll never smile again, but Donated Orthodontic Services may help them smile with confidence. To link to the application and eligibility requirements, visit aaoinfo.org.
Drownings are the #1 cause of accidental death for young children. Simple safety steps are the best way to prevent these tragedies. Make sure kids learn how to swim. Designate an adult water watcher to watch kids in and around water. Save the phone calls and texts for when the kids are out of the water. Properly fence all pools with fences at least 4 feet high and with self-closing, self-latching gates. When above-ground pools aren't in use, remove the ladders. When pools aren't in use, cover them. Teach kids to stay away from drains. And if a child is missing, check the pool or spa first. Consider the steps you take, then add a few more, because you never know which pool safety step will save a life. Until it does. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
I'm a veteran. We hit a mine in Vietnam. When I came home, I didn't know where to turn.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My victory's been never giving up hope. My wife is always there to remind me we have a life to live.
DAV provides a lifetime of support, helping veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I am a veteran, but after I got out, I spent 2 years alone and homeless.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans so they can reach victories great and small.
My victory was finding the support to get back on my feet. Now I'm getting things right with my family.
I finally admitted, with my PTSD, I wasn't doing well.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
Now I wish I'd found DAV sooner. I am a veteran. My victory is just enjoying each day.
Help support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
For the St. Thomas Academy Cadets, only being +4 in goal differential here in period number 2, the offense exploded with 2 second-period goals that give the Cadets the 2-0 lead over Metro East Conference rivals, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, here on this Monday in Stillwater, Minnesota. For Allison Vogt, I am Alex Westhead. And Allison, we talked about how high-flying this offense is for the Cadets, and they struck twice in quick succession in the second period.
Yeah, they definitely came out flying after, we had talked about that the first period was obviously their best period as far as goal differentials go. You wouldn't have known that watching tonight so far in the second period. They came out, had a lot of shots on goal, kept Mahtomedi, off the scoreboard, and did not give up a lot of shots either.
We'll take a look at the goals in just a moment here, but I mean, at the statistics after 2 period, a dominant period in shots on goal, 23-13 for the Cadets, 14-5 in favor of the Cadets in period number 2. And really, Ben Dardis, the reason why the Zephyrs still in this game.
Yeah, Ben Dardis, of course, once again showing why he's taken over the reins this year, especially after he had big shoes to fill from the Zephyrs last year, losing their starting goalie. So he's looked really strong here tonight. Of course, we've seen him flash that glove a lot to keep them in the game. After a scoreless first period, it would be Tyler Greb with the first goal of the game for St. Thomas Academy. And again, a great wraparound there chance by Nagel for the Cadets, and just a good save
there. But on the rush into the zone, Graham gives up a big rebound there, kicked it to the left, and Graham able to finish it off for his 8th goal of the season. The Cadets, though, would not be done. But Ben Dardis would stand strong in between those chances. There was a hooking penalty against Nagel with some great speed in the attacking zone. Then the rush back the other way for the Zephyrs. This was a goal that was waved off. And again, Zephyr parents didn't like it, but you saw the official on the near side waving it off immediately. No goal for the player in the crease.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's a tough break, but that's how the rule's written. You cannot be in the crease until the player or until the puck is in the crease as well. So, you know, even though it had no type of bearing or interference or whatever with the goalie, as far as the goal didn't have any type of impact on the play, it still is how the rule's written. It's a tough go. It's a learning experience for the player like that to make sure he stays outside the crease until the puck enters it.
The second goal for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets this afternoon into early evening. 14th goal of the season for number 16, Jared Wright, committed to Colgate University, and you can tell why. Real strong shot right in the slot, just rifled it home.
Yeah, you can tell he's done that before. He's got a really good shot there. That puck just had some seeing eyes. Was able to beat Dardis cleanly, you know, and you can, like I said before, you can definitely see why he's going to be going to Colgate next year.
After 2-0, St. Thomas Academy, the 8th ranked Cadets lead the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, 5th ranked in Class A, 2-0. We'll be back for the start of period number 3 in just a few moments. This is your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr boys hockey.
Let's roll. Wait, what's that?
A hawk feather?
That's right, baby.
His job is important.
But this is what matters most.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
My husband is a wonderful man. He's a great father, funny and loving, when he's not drinking. When he drinks, he becomes a complete stranger, angry and mean, not the man I fell in love with. I've become really good at pretending everything's okay for the kids' sake, but it's taking a toll on me. I'm so angry that my husband chooses alcohol over us. If he really loved us, he'd stop drinking, right? My counselor suggested I try Al-Anon family groups. At first, I didn't understand why she wanted me to go. I'm not the one with the problem, but I'm glad I went. I heard people's stories, and they sound exactly like mine. I knew I was in the right place. Do you worry about how much someone drinks? You are not alone. Al-Anon or Alateen can help. For more information, call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Hi, I'm Vivica Fox. For more than 100 years, American Humane has been rescuing animals during hurricanes, floods, and wildfires. But Mother Nature isn't the only danger animals face. Sometimes it's human nature. Every year, 6 million animals are abandoned and more than 1 million are euthanized. You can be a hero to animals in need of rescue and adoption at AmericanHumane.org.
After 2 periods of play, the St. Thomas Academy Cadets on the year 8-0-1. And for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, a area in which they do not normally enter. 0-2-0 on the season are the Zephyrs when trailing after 2 periods. Tyler Graham, his 8th of the season, followed by Jared Wright, his 14th of the season, 2-0. St. Thomas Academy leading over the Mahtomedi Zephyrs in the regular season finale for both of these teams heading into section play next week. If you're interested in coming out to assist with any broadcasting that Suburban Community Channels does, you can get in contact with us through a number of ways. You can do so by sending Arlen Becker an email, arlen@scctv.org, or you can give him a phone call, 651-747-3821, to provide assistance in any way that you might find useful. You can come on out and join us on camera. You can join us in the broadcasting booth when my fiance Allison is not doing that with me. Otherwise, we'd love to have you coming out and assist over the course of a game. 2-0. The score again after the second period. This game 1 of our doubleheader. Mahtomedi girls hosting North Tartan, the 4-5 matchup in girls hockey. The winner of that one later tonight will go on to South St. Paul to play the Packers in the semifinal round. And if you're a fan of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, we hope that you will join us for that one again live and for free on very much the same channels and broadcasting avenues which you found this one here today. Puck to be dropped at center ice. 48 seconds of power play time remaining for the Zephyrs to start this period. And a face-off one by Nagel, flung all the way down by Satine. And the Zephyrs will go out to chase once again. And actually, the Zephyr ladies starting to make their trek into the St. Croix Valley Rec Center right now. Johnson into the attacking zone further here for Ryan Berglund. Rung all the way around, then hit off the odd part of the boards there. All the way back out again. Right on the backhand, the latest goal scorer for the Cadets. All the way back down, Ben Dardis to stop it. 23 seconds remaining on the power play time here to St. Thomas, or to the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. J.D. Metz from behind his own net, looking to start some speed using the goal as a screen. Metz through center, gaining the attacking zone. J.D. Metz from a sharp angle there along the goal line will skate it back behind, trying to wrap it around, but instead it tied up again further. J.D. Metz tried a backhander on goal. We have a whistle. Where's the puck? It comes all the way again here to the near side as the Cadets have returned to full strength. On the centering feed, Ethan Peterson has it knocked off of his stick. Johansson for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. A little bit too far there for Deverell. Intercepted again here by Bruner for Mahtomedi. Met Peterson on the forecheck all the way back down to the zone. Ben Dardis will stop it again. So, a minute 16 remaining, or elapsed here in period number 3. And the Zephyrs still trailing 2-0. Mahtomedi trying to draw another power play there. And it goes back again into the Zephyr zone. And so far, Mahtomedi starting to carry the pace of play here in the third.
Yeah, I expect a big push of them coming up here in this third period because they're down by 2. And, you know, it's going to help shape how they go into sections, too. You want to be feeling good, so you want to make sure you give it a nice big final push and then you left it all out there before starting with sections.
We'll have a face-off coming here to the left of the Zephyr goaltender Ben Dardis. 24 saves on 26 shots for the Cadets of St. Thomas Academy. St. Thomas Academy will have a bye in the opening round of the 3 AA playoffs. They'll host the winner of the 4-5 game at the St. Thomas Ice Arena, which they share with soon-to-be, as Brower throws Ty Decker down. But they share that facility with the soon-to-be D1 St. Thomas Tommies in the St. Thomas Ice Arena right outside the front entrance to St. Thomas Academy. Bond to Graham, who got the goal scoring started. He scores. No, he didn't. Now he does. Okay. I thought for sure that Graham had gotten it on the first shot. He follows it up for the rebound, and the Cadets take a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, I definitely thought that first one went in, but he must have just knocked it off the crossbar. But of course, you know, there's make no mistake on that second one that did for sure go in on the rebound there. You know, I think Ben Dardis also thought it went in too because he kind of stopped playing. A lot of people did until they looked over at the ref and saw that he was waved it off.
Again, he just went right to it, and I think Dardis provided a little assistance with the back part of the skate to push it in for sure, because it was waved off at first. And so Tyler Graham with his 9th of the season and his 2nd of the game, and the Cadets with a 3-0 lead. Nagel into the attacking zone here for St. Thomas Academy. J.D. Metz off to the far side right, tries to dig it free for the Cadets before it's taken away up again by Newbeck. Newbeck into the corner, out-muscled there by Wright. To the near side, Statine. Shot wristed through, hit off the skate to the side there of JD Metz, comes back again to the near side. Big check delivered by Wright. Off the glass, back through center, carrying it further into the attacking zone before the Cadets again. Nagel with the St. Thomas Academy grouped up on the near side. Nagel working back down low, centering pass in front for Wright, and the shot hand on there off the block of Ethan Peterson. Peterson through center. Far side as the Zephyrs had to wait to make sure that they avoided too many skaters. St. Thomas Academy resetting again. Here's Williams into the attacking zone. Williams with a shot and another very nice block by the defender Grant Dardis. Dardis flipped off the glass, held him briefly into the zone before Cronin picks it back up at neutral. Tyler Cronin to the far side right, trying the toe drag, goes back again to the far side half wall. Williams all the way around, able to get to it first. Here's Dardis from Mahtomedi. Dardis tied up into the corner. Nagel able to take it back away. Nagel off the end boards. Working back around, tried to put it back out in front. Thilmany with a nice backhand to push the puck back in further. So we've hit 13:29 remaining here in period number 3. Cadets lead 3-0, 27-14 shots on goal for St. Thomas Academy. Peterson was looking in front there for Adam Johnson, who leads the Zephyrs in goals this season with 11. Ethan Peterson working around to the far side, goes back to the blue line again for Neubeck. Neubeck blocked out in front. A great positioning play made by number 10, Tommy Deverell. Here's Deverell on the loose puck, picked up there on the stick lift by Johnson, who flings it back in as the Zephyrs lines will change. Statine. Pass further up ahead, hit off the stick there of Jack Strobel. And now the Zephyrs again coming back into the attacking zone. Lardy ought to play it, flings it off the glass all the way back to the far side, where the Zephyrs again will have to reset through center. Off the leg pads of Jackson Hallam into the attacking zone, the leading goal scorer for St. Thomas Academy coming into play today, but has been held off of the score sheet. He is 1 point shy of 100 points on his career for St. Thomas Academy. Now back the other way, Carter Haycraft, a centering pass in front. Great defense made by Tyler Thilmany. Or not Tyler Thilmany, Tristan Thilmany, I should say. Tyler plays for White Bear Lake. Jackson Hallam on the far side, shot on. Dardis makes another blocker save, and Carter Haycraft able to dig it back out. Through center, further. As Seth Nelson tries to gain the attacking zone. Williams around to Haycraft, check, and then sent all the way back down to the end boards. Here with 11:59 remaining here, period number 3. All the way back down the length of the ice. The arm is up, and icing will be called again.
The Mahtomedi, they've been kind of hemmed in their own zone a little bit. St. Thomas Academy's had, I think for the most part, the better play here in the first 6 minutes of this period. I expect a little bit bigger of a push from Mahtomedi going forward.
Face off coming here to the right of Dardis. It's one again by Graham, shot on. Another save by Dardis with the stick out of play. Our broadcast crew tonight, we want to thank these individuals, too, for coming out here. It's odd and not frequent that we get to do a hockey doubleheader, but we are certainly grateful for them. Chris Stoltzman, Ian Felix, and Stephen Adams on camera. David Schuyler, Arlen Becker in the truck, and, of course, Allison Vogt and Alex Westad on the mic. Face off to the right of Dardis is won by Graham. Pashney, a little bit too far past Bobby Cunningham on the far side wing. Held him here again as the Cadets try to maintain possession in the attacking zone before it can be sent further again now and reset again here by Brower. Brower lost a handle on it there on the pressure delivered by the Zephyrs, and then Brower again pulls it back onto the inside. Brower with a shot on and a blocker save made by Dardis. Brower trying to work his way free again here for Ryan Berglund. Along the half wall, held in there, sent on. Dardis into his glove, and he'll hold on for another faceoff. So the Zephyrs, so far here in period number 3, 1 shot on goal.
1 shot on goal, and I believe St. Thomas Academy has about 8 so far. And of course, the 1 goal that kind of seemed a little bit fluky there, which is, a bummer for Mahtomedi. Of course, Mahtomedi still has some time, to put some goals up on the board and really start to kind of shore up some of their defensive zone mistakes, maybe some of the turnovers that they're making, because postseason play starts here, and of course that's a whole new season once that starts.
The Zephyrs will be opening in the quarterfinal round against St. Paul Academy and Summit School. The Zephyrs with 4 consecutive Section 4A titles, their state championship, first in program history a year ago. A difficult opponent awaiting for them too at some point in the Gentry Academy Stars. Holland tied up there, lost a handle on it. Bond with a shot that missed wide and high to the right. Tilmany back down and low further past Cav Bruner. And we tied up again there down and low. Hallam trying to wrap around. Dardis makes a save. Whistle blows. We're going to have a little pushing and shoving here as well.
Dardis really strong there on the post. He said, nope, not today. They've tried to beat him on the wraparound a few times here tonight, and he has denied them every single time.
We talked about the section playoffs for Section 4A, but for St. Thomas Academy out of Section 3AA, again, they made the jump to Class 2A in 13-14. They are the number 1 seed in Section 3. Then the other games, Rosemont hosting Egan, Burnsville hosting Eastview, and then Jefferson and Park in the 4-5 game, the winner of which gets this St. Thomas Academy team. Through the legs of J.D. Metz as the Zephyrs try to clear it back out through center. Here's Berglund. Further up ahead for Ducks into the attacking zone. Satine with a nice play to send it back to the corner boards. Williams on the back end here further once again for Max Nagel. To the near side, Satine. That's further up ahead for Williams off of his stick and be carried in by Wright. Wright on the glove there of Dardis before it's taken again by Duxon. Hit off a stanchion, so still held into the zone. Nice play there again by Wright to pick it back up, but Duxon starts to rush back the other way for Mahtomedi. Duxon on a 3-on-2. Going back again here looking for Berglund, but a shot right into the equipment of Statine. And it's actually in his breezers, so we'll have a face-off in the last play draw on the defensive end.
That's always the weirdest thing that happens when you all of a sudden have the puck in your breezers. You're kind of looking for it in your equipment, and it's always just an odd, awkward thing that happens.
Face off to the left of the cadet goaltender Karsten Lardy, who has stopped 14 of 14 shots from Mahtomedi. To his left, it'll be Hallam and J.D. Metz on the draw. Hallam with the win, goes back to Tashney. Further up ahead, and then cleared out of the zone by the cadets. Metz trying to carry the puck back in, but Hallam with the reset to Strobel here, near side. Brings it back up again on the forehand, and then held in further again by Deverell. Nice play down, tied up into the corner. Strobel with the loose puck pick up here. Centering pass in front, looking for Hallam, and then blocked there into the skates once more of Tony Newbeck. On the turnover, Strobel holds his zone near side here for Hallam at the top of the circle. Knocked off the stick on a great defensive play back the other way again by Bruner. Down and low, Tashney collided with there. J.D. Metz able to glove it down, is bothered by Tilmany as they try to keep that puck moving down along the corner boards. Peterson providing assistance, avoids a stick check there from Hallam. Off the end boards to the far side, Deverell to get to it again here for St. Thomas Academy. Here to the near side is actually the North Tartan. No, that is the North Tartan TNT, as they are already dressed and ready to go for the girls game coming up here at 7:30. On a chance in front, Strobel denied by a good stick play by Tony Newbeck. Here's Deverell again for St. Thomas Academy. As the Zephyrs now with possession, flinging it down the length of the ice. Adam Johnson will watch it, and icing will be called. Again, the 4-5 matchup between North Tartan and the TNT and the Mahtomedi Zephyrs upcoming. The two teams, as we'll tease our matchup to come later tonight, the two teams played just last week, a 3-1 Mahtomedi Zephyr win and a hat trick for Karen Miller the last time the Zephyrs and North Tartan played, with section implications on the line for both of those teams. Of course, it is the section playoffs, so why wouldn't there be section implications? Shot on goal, stick play made there by Carson Lardy. To the far side, Brower picks it up the half wall, will skate it back here through center. Nice stick lift there on a great play by Johnny Grove. Further up ahead, Graham has 2 goals tonight for St. Thomas Academy, giving him 9 on the season. Statine with a drive intentionally wide to the right, picked up again by Brower. Brower evading the pressure there briefly of Galentian. And it's tied up once again near the half wall. Puck in possessioning there of Bond as he's able to get to it. Bruner back again for Tony Newbeck. Long stretch pass up ahead, is trying to stretch the play that time was Johnny Grove. And the cadets will watch the puck go back into their zone. We're going to have the whistle that'll blow, and icing is called.
He was just on the wrong side of the red line, about a foot off. If he could have just gotten one stride forward and dumped it in, then, you know, icing would have been waved off, and maybe his team would have been able to get out there and get position. But once again, that's just a learning, just a mistake, easily corrected, something to learn from, especially going to section play later this week.
Face off to the left of Dardis again. If you're looking to join us in future broadcasts of Suburban Community Channels, we cover Mahtomedi, White Bear Lake, and Tartan in all their sports. As a play glove down there, trying to find the loose puck, but a great stick lift again by Duxon. Held back in. Duxon trying to start the rush back the other way, but a nice play by Tashney all the way back around again to the far side for Mahtomedi. Sean Doggett. Taking back again, Casey now. Cunningham working his way around Grant Dardis there. Good play by Doggett to take the player out of the play. Then further up ahead now again is Duxon. Puck taken away, big collision there, and a nice check by Carter Haycraft in the attacking zone. Grant Dardis high into the mesh, and we'll have a face-off in the zone. 6:45 remaining, 3-0 the Cadets lead. Shots on goal, 34-15, and after such an even first period, we really saw the Cadets take advantage and take control in the second and third.
Yeah, they definitely have. They definitely have shown why they're ranked number 8 in Class 2A tonight against Mahtomedi. They've been doing a great job here in the third period, closing out that defensive zone, not allowing Mahtomedi to get a lot of shots even when they do have chances, and then, of course, keeping Mahtomedi hemmed in their own defensive zone.
The top 10 in Class 2A, Lakeville South, Eden Prairie, Maple Grove, Hill Murray, Grand Rapids, Andover, Cretin-Durham Hall, St. Thomas Academy, Prior Lake, and Wyzetta. The top 10 briefly in Class 1A, Gentry Academy, Hermantown, Warroad, Little Falls, Mahtomedi, Breck, East Grand Forks, Fergus Falls, Northern Lakes, and Duluth Denfield. Play back into the zone, right. All the way to the far side again, into the attacking zone comes Tommy Cronin. Cronin working his way in, tried a backhand, but was denied nicely by Cav Bruner on that far side. Into the skates, right. Able to free a loose puck again here for Cronin. Try to put it in front for Nagel. Now taken again by Peterson back the other way for Mahtomedi. Flipped around Stettin. Peterson going in after the puck, and icing will be called. Upcoming for other Mahtomedi Zephyr sports, again, North Tartan, you see the TNT players, and I've never actually seen those jerseys before. Those look kind of slick, kind of a throwback jersey there. Awaiting the Zephyrs coming up at 7:30. Again, you can find us on our social media to find a link to YouTube for that one, or you can just click on the subscribe button on YouTube, so that way you can never miss a live broadcast of SEC TV Sports. Otherwise, Mahtomedi Zephyr basketball. The girls are the 2 seed. They'll host Columbia Heights on Friday. The boys are the 4 seed hosting St. Paul Johnson coming up on Friday as well. Shots on goal, 34-15. St. Thomas Academy with 5.5 remaining here in this third period. Down and low as the Zephyrs try to retain possession there onto the far side. Could be taken here again. Sean Doggett try to go behind again for Grant Dardis. Further up ahead, Williams unable to stop it. Now as they'll collide here near the official's crease. The late offside call, though, as the puck did not get there in the first place. All the way around, actually hits the netting, out of play, and will hold on again. So again, to find us on social media, on Twitter, you can find us at SEC TV Sports. You can follow myself at Alex Wested, and you can follow Allison at VOGT19, where you can give her a hard time about her Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs losing to the St. Cloud State Huskies today by a final of 3-2. Or Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are your thing. You can certainly find them on there as well. Out of the defensive zone, Tommy Stettin trying to carry the play here into the attacking zone. Here, Stettin with just 6 points on the season, 1 goal, 5 assists, as the puck again knocked out of bounds, and the official there with a demonstrative call of that. So we'll have a face-off again in the Mahtomedi end. And if you're head coach Jeff Poschel, and you look into that section matchup coming up against St. Paul Academy, what's your takeaway with this one for the Zephyrs?
I think the biggest thing for this one is you can't let your foot off the gas. You know, even if you're feeling like you're sticking with someone or getting the better of the play, you definitely can't take your foot off the gas. Just got to correct some little mistakes. Maybe, you know, making sure you're getting over that red line so you're not taking any icing calls. And then, of course, I think the biggest thing that they're going to take away from this is stay out of the crease. Unless the puck's there, stay out of the crease.
Stettin with a nice drive, saved by Dardison, then blocked down. Bodies falling behind the play as both Dutson and Berglund fell down for Mahtomedi, but no harm, no foul. Icing is waved off as it got knocked off of a stick on the other side of the red line. Cadets holding possession in down and low. Tanner Brower lost a handle on it down and low, and then Tony Newbeck able to fling it again as Cadet parents covering their head after a puck went up there earlier in the game. Johansson intercepted by Adam Johnson, and taken away here again by the Cadets as they'll fling it back down the ice again. It hit off the stanchion, so it's in play now. A chance for Brooke Bond. Bond, who's hooked on his way to the net. The arm is up. Do we get a penalty shot? We do not, but hooking the call.
That's a penalty that you kind of have to take there. There's just been some weird bounces today off the stanchion. And he did hook him up underneath the arms. The call you have to make, it's a penalty you probably have to take to make sure you're not going down 4-0.
So a fourth chance on the power play now for St. Thomas Academy, 0 for 3 so far. Again, 5 criteria required for a penalty shot. Perhaps one could have been called there.
I don't know if the St. Thomas Academy player had enough of a step on the Mahtomedi player to call that a penalty shot.
Of course, the 5 criteria are clear possession of the puck on your side of the defensive zone blue line, clear and obvious scoring chance, fouled from behind or directly diagonal to, and that extra step. So the fourth chance on the power play for St. Thomas Academy. Again, 39% on the power play coming into play today. 0 for 3 so far. Hallam working around the far side. Almost a 5-on-3 chance generated. Dardis will reach it off. Puck is still loose. Players will collide, and we'll see if anything comes of this.
Ooh, starting to get feisty here.
And the linesman taken down there. Not intentionally, I don't think.
No.
But I think we're going to see, and you talked about it too. Keep your foot on the gas, but stay clean about it. And that's not what the Zephyrs did there.
Yeah, you can see tempers are rising. They're getting a little frustrated here in the third period. Of course, it's not how you want to be feeling going into section play.
So we're going to have...
We're going to take both of them.
They are going to take both. And I think that, and again, we have no horse in this race. You're a St. Cloud Cathedral girl. I'm a White Bear Lake boy alum. So we have no horse in this race, but I think taking both players is probably the right call there.
Yeah, definitely I think so. I think both players are definitely getting their hits thrown in there, or whatever you want to call it. Definitely the right call.
So we will wait to see. The faceoff will come out to neutralize. So 1:41 remaining on the power play time to St. Thomas Academy.
Good stick.
On the pressure there, as Allison says, great stick play by J.D. Metz. Down and low, avoids right down low in the corner as these players collide. Again, a matchup relatively meaningless, but you could not tell watching how hard and how physical these teams have played tonight. Deverell, long stretch pass up ahead for right. The arm is up, and the rare icing on a power play goes the way of the St. Thomas Academy Cadets.
Yeah, as you're saying that, you wouldn't have guessed that this game, really didn't have any meeting in the as far as standings or section seating goes. Both these teams are definitely playing hard, which is exactly what you want them to do, what you want to do going into playoffs.
Our next broadcast just about 45 minutes from now. Again, North Tartan TNT at home, or on the road, I should say, against the Mahtomedi Zephyrs here in the Section 4A quarterfinal round. Hallam on the power play with 1:07 remaining on it. Hallam off to the far side again to right at the point. Goes here to the near side again, Max Nagel. Back again for Jared Wright with a goal already today. Nagel put down and low once again further for Cunningham. Nagel again at the circle. Puts back down and low for Ava. We're going to have no, we do get a penalty call. And this penalty will go against the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. And that'll end the power play for St. Thomas Academy.
Mahtomedi parents are not too happy about Hallam taking that cross check on their player there, and rightfully so. When you're up 3-0.
Again, you'll see it in the top left corner of your screen. You see there Berglund, and then just...
Yeah, that's a dirty play. There's no need to cross check anyone in the head like that with 2.5 minutes left in a 3-0 game. In a game that has no meeting section-wise.
So we'll take a timeout here on the ice. It'll be 2 minutes, the minor penalty here to Jackson Hallam. And so looking here with this one, 2:31 remaining. Again, 3-0 the Cadets lead. Mahtomedi with just one shot on goal here in period number 3. We'll take a look again at where we came through the course of this game. It was scoreless after the first, but on the score board, first of 2 opportunities today, Tyler Graham with the first shot followed up his own rebound on the backhand that gave the Cadets the 1-0 lead. And again, the shot there of Graham on the second chance there. We thought it hit off of both posts and in first, but it was waved off, and I think Ben Dardis just kicked it back in with his back foot. Added to that, a Jared Wright blast from just inside the blue line, and that's how we've gotten to where we are. 3-0 St. Thomas Academy leads. Shots on goal 35-15 in favor of the Cadets, who again out of Section 3 AA, Rosemont might give them some opposition, but that should be a section favored for the Cadets.
Yeah, after especially watching them here tonight, the Cadets definitely have, can't think of words now. They look good tonight. They're good on the power play. Of course, they didn't actually score any power play goals yet tonight, which is very impressive. It says a lot about Mahtomedi's penalty kill right there. They were able to really improve also their penalty kill at the same time tonight. And as you can see, they're really great at possessing the puck, getting those offensive zone opportunities, and keeping teams hemmed in their own zone.
Satine off the face-off draw, win by Graham for St. Thomas Academy. Williams further up ahead, looking into the skates as Graham was looking for the hat trick. Icing is waved off as we are even strength. Near the Zephyr bench, J.D. Metz on the stick handle into the attacking zone here for Adam Johnson. Johnson looking for a redirection tip play onto the far side, couldn't find it. Down and low, Ethan Peterson for Mahtomedi in the corner. Push back again, J.D. Metz working around Williams. Metz from the goal line, working it back here again to the circle. Metz on the spin here, extra space on the 4-on-4. As again, players collide. Peterson able to maintain possession as the Zephyrs now back to full strength. So a power play for Mahtomedi, their third. 1:09 remaining on it. Satine on the backhand clearance. Nice play made by the Zephyrs as the hand pass got waved off and then sent back down right into the padding and the equipment of Tyler Graham. Graham on the short-handed bid, trying to stick handle his way in. He's taken to the net, and Dardis makes another big save. Neither team has given up a short-handed goal this year, but the Cadets have 3 so far this season. Into the attacking zone, Berglund trying to work around Thilman. He lost it on his way in. Peterson has it go by him and back down the length of the ice. So 35 seconds remaining on the power play time here with just a minute to go in this third period. Down and low as Berglund will tie up down and low once again with Johnny Johansson. Duxon, we sit again there for Drog on the backhand, trying to work away at it in front. Tony Newbeck, no, and he screams at either the official or Nagel out in front.
He used pressure at the official there. I think he thought the puck, or at least maybe the puck was still loose, but of course with the official loose side of it, they do have to blow the whistle.
Well, as we take a look at it there, you could argue that certainly it was loose, but the whistle blows either way. Face off to the left, 16 seconds remaining on the power play time to Mahtomedi and the Zephyrs. Again, we talked too about just how well the Zephyrs have done penalty killing. For St. Thomas Academy, 69.8% on the penalty kill this year. They've done an outstanding job penalty killing tonight.
Yeah, they really have.
Loose puck in front, big shot from Newbeck there as it comes back again here to the near side. Johnson blocked back the other way, Wright looking for his second goal of the game. Here's Wright into the zone, tried the toe drag and did not score as he missed it to the left. And so great speed by the Colgate University commit Jared Wright on the breakaway, but just missed on this one. A little bit of a stick check too there from Adam Johnson to deny Jared Wright.
Yeah, that was a great play by him. Like you said, he just missed the net, and I kind of wonder if Ben Dardis actually might have gotten back there in time should he have hit the net, and if it would have been on the ice, but if you have hit the net, lifted that upstairs, it would have been a for sure goal.
So the Cadets off the draw here. The Cadets with the win will improve to 11-4-3 on the season, 8-1-1 in the Suburban East Conference. Their lone loss coming to the Hill Murray Pioneers their last time out. They came in losers of 3 in a row, so that stops that streak heading into section play. And for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, they will fall to 10-7-1, and then 4-4-1 in the Metro East. Face off to the left of Dardis, as it'll be Ryan Berglund and Brower to oppose, won by Berglund. Newbeck, all to the far side, held on the far side by Tashny. Off of a stanchion, Brower maintains possession as they take it to the boards there. Metz, checked by Cunningham. Casey able to hold it back into the far side again. The horn will sound, and the regular season is over for both of these teams as section play looms. The shutout for goaltender Karsten Lardy for St. Thomas Academy. And while he didn't face many shots, still certainly one of the stars of the game tonight.
Yeah, he definitely had some tough shots that he did have to face and block, even though, he only faced 16 shots tonight. That first period, he really did keep St. Thomas in it. Mahtomedi had plenty of chances, and then towards here at the end, of course, too, Mahtomedi had plenty of chances on that power play.
And for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets on the year, that will be, as the team, that'll be shutout number 4 on the year. Shutouts previously against Hastings, against South St. Paul, and I think I missed one in there. Yep, and against Holy Family as well. So the 4th shutout of the year for this St. Thomas Academy team that we know their pedigree, we know that they're good, but they really proved it here tonight.
Yeah, they definitely look like a really great team here tonight. They know where each other is on the ice. They have a lot of speed, a lot of grit. They can do so. They are able to, put some big hits in there. We didn't see too much of that tonight because I don't think that is the focus of their game, but they're definitely a great team, and I'm sure we'll see them in the section games to come.
And on the other side for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, we talked so much coming into the game today about how much of a game this was a tune-up. We saw a lot of successful things in the first period, but we started to see it get away from them a little bit in period 2 and period 3. So some room for improvement certainly before the game against St. Paul Academy coming up this week.
Yep, definitely. They got time to look at the film later this week, after practice or something, and kind of make some of those adjustments. Learn from some of those mistakes, like having a player inside the crease or being on the wrong side of the red line when you're trying to throw that puck in for a dump in.
So Tyler Grimm with goals 8 and 9 on the season for St. Thomas Academy. And Jared Wright added his 14th as well. The shutout for goaltender Karsten Lardy. And the Cadets victorious by a final of 3-0 here tonight at the St. Croix Valley Rec Center. Once again, our broadcast crew here from Stillwater, Chris Stoltzman, Ian Felix, and Stephen Adams down below. In the truck, Arlen Becker and David Schuyler. For Allison Vogt, I'm Alex Westhead. The final score again, 3-0. The Cadets victorious over the Zephyrs. This is your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr boys hockey.